Are we live? Are we going? Hello, everybody. Um, Happy Friday. I'm currently just waiting for Marco to come into the thing. I can invite Mark. So bad with technology. We could have done it. We could have done it. There he is.
Hello.
I did it.
Nice one. How's it going?
I am good for you.
Yeah, good. Friday again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Do you know what? I absolutely look forward to this moment every week now.
yeah, it's
I'm
like
really getting into these lives on a Friday night, just getting into what's been released.
it's a highlight of the week, isn't it? And
Yeah, I mean,
next week I'm not going to have one of these paint samples behind me. I'm actually going to have a wall of one of them samples. So people are wondering what these blocks are behind me all the time. Yeah, yeah, hoping to paint that wall tomorrow for a little podcast studio setup. So
nice, nice. So
um,
after lockdown, maybe we can both actually get in there and do some podcasts together.
yeah, that's the plan.
Um, Lots of music released today.
Yeah, it's been a busy one compared to last week when we had literally nothing to talk about really, did we? And like next week seems to be a quiet one again, so it's like going in, taking it in turns. But yeah, it's a busy one this week. Loads of good stuff out.
Yeah. We've got. I must say at the top of the show here. If it is a show, I don't know if it's a show. It's a show. We'll call it a show. We've got a special guest. So the lads from, or one of the lads from Lord and the Wolf is going to be joining us at some point for a little chat about their new single. So yeah, that's going to be fun, different. So just trying it, seeing
Yeah,
if it works.
first ever guest on the
First ever
album
guest,
release
yeah.
show. Yeah. So yeah, looking
So
forward to that.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting into that because I've been listening to it all day. Um, and yeah, so let's crack on.
Yeah, shall we start with some of the singles then? Parachute Foundation.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I was excited about this one and I did
yeah,
not disappoint. It's got
but
like bags of energy, just the classic kind of energetic indie atmospheric kind of thing.
yeah. I love like the pacing of it as well. It's quite a nice pace and groove to it, isn't it? And
Yeah, I can't remember I really like the melody kind of starts to get enveloped by the rest of the music, if you know what I mean.
mm, yeah,
Um, it
you're
all
right.
just works so well on all of the different levels.
Yeah, I can see it being a bit of a Radio One hit. This one,
Yeah,
massive
definitely.
production's massive on it, isn't it? And yeah,
Mm,
really catchy stuff. Um,
yeah. I'm excited to hear some more because I think it's an EP that's kind of
mm,
coming. I've got in touch with the lads and asked if they'll answer a few questions and stuff. So hopefully over the next few weeks we'll have a bit more info on that. But really, really good, just pop single.
yeah,
Really
no, it's really
indie
good. That
pop. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, the backseat it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, have you
Uh,
had your eye on anything else?
yeah. Do you know what? Rag and Bone Man's new single is an absolute tune.
Yeah, it's like the best
Uh,
thing he's done since like 2017 or something, isn't it? I think he had that
yeah,
jam out with Calvin Harris, but yeah, this is the first one he's had like on his own for a while.
really, really enjoying it.
Yeah. Oh,
Had it on repeat after dinner tonight.
yeah.
Do you know what? Like, I know it sounds mad. I saw an interview with I forget his name, Sam Fender,
Mm.
where he said he was just messing around and like seeing if he could write music for other people. I really am wondering if he's written or been on the team writing with this one.
Yeah.
It just sounds like either him or like George Ezra or someone's just been like
Yeah, I thought, yeah,
the
because
major driving force behind it, if you know what I mean.
yeah, I got like Bruce Springsteen vibes, which would make sense, I suppose, with Sam Fender,
Yeah,
or
it,
like
that, that
James.
chorus, the top chorus line, just
Yeah.
it's very Springsteen. And as soon as I heard that, and I kind of put two and two together with that interview that I'd seen, that um, I just think maybe he's been involved, which is great
Mm.
because he's a great songwriter.
Yeah, I got a bit of James Bay maybe as well. Your first album, some of his like more upbeat stuff was a similar sort of sound to that, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just a really like another really nice upbeat. And to be honest, I was quite surprised how kind of guitar heavy it was.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a guitar band, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting from Rag
No,
and
I wasn't.
Bone.
No.
But I really like it.
Yeah, no. It's a good effort, that one. And the Coral have released a new one as well, haven't they? So they've confirmed their album for the April the 30th now, haven't they? Coral
Yeah, it's
Island.
going to be a nice 30th birthday present for me because I turned 30 the day before then. So
Yeah.
I'm just gutted that it's not coinciding with a live event. But
Yeah. Faceless Angel, it's called, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be. Apparently, I've seen that it's a double album.
Yeah. All right.
Which
Okay.
is
I've seen it.
interesting. I think it might be a bit more like story orientated, maybe. Obviously, they've got this whole "Welcome to Coral Island" thing going on,
Mm,
and it seems from this record, the single that they've released today, that I would say that it's been um, it's more towards like if it's for example, I wouldn't be surprised if this was on Night Freak and Sons of Becca.
yeah, it's got that like haunting psychedelic feel, hasn't it? I prefer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, it's just like familiar choral sound, isn't it? Like that familiarity you get with them.
Yeah, and while I was listening to it, I really did think I could be watching uh, like Tarantino film. Maybe
Yeah,
it's got that. There's a
cinematic.
thing, cinematic originality, if you know what I
Mm,
mean. That it needs a film behind, like for it to sit behind, for it to
yeah,
really, and like people that I think that's where you're gonna really see possibly like um a real strength in the choral going forward, maybe getting into like sinking more and them kind of vibes in films because this is crying out for like a scene of a film to be put over
yeah,
it. I think the story and the sound and it's got that like western feel and a little bit rawhidey at
yeah,
times.
yeah, yeah,
um, but really good. I'm really enjoying it and it's made me really excited for the record that's come out.
yeah. Absolutely. Should we get should we get our guests on, and I'll duck off and you
Yeah,
can invite them in and
yeah.
have a chat about them.
So
Well,
is it? Do I get rid of you?
yeah, I'll leave.
Okay. See you in a little bit. Right. Lord and the Wolf join. Go live. I think I'm going to be speaking to Joe. Um, just waiting for them guys to accept the invitation now. Here we go. Joe,
Hello.
hi. It's lovely to meet you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. I can hear you.
Hi. How's it going?
So I heard you talking, and I was next door doing my hair, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm on!" And I just ran back in. How are you doing?
If it's anything to do with hair, we don't need to have a go because it's not going well for me right now.
How are you?
The lockdown barness has taken full control.
Yeah. It's a difficult position, but you always get caught out when you get on these Zooms, don't you? And you realise that you've never looked this way before, and I mean, you got no choice but other to present yourself to the world.
Yeah. First things first, Joe. It's lovely to meet you. Even if it is on a bit of a weird way, a bit unnatural,
Right.
but it is lovely to. Yeah, it's lovely to put a face to the band, really. Because I've listened to the track all day today, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I've delved back through some of the back catalogue as well, and this track seems like a little bit of a departure from stuff that you've done in the past. Is that like an intentional thing that you've done?
No, I think every track is a kind of departure from the last one somewhat, and I don't know in the end whether we'll find cohesion and disparity, but at the moment I think the problem is we write so far apart time-wise between songs. We don't have the money to be writing in the studio like 6 songs or 7 songs and get them all down at the same time. So at a young age, when 6 months pass, you're influenced by so many different things, and there's all these different bands coming out and all these different sounds that you want to, subconsciously, you want to sound different and in every kind of release. So we're just trying out something that works, and with this one, it was below 3 minutes, which is why we've got great response, especially with the radio. Or we get carried away. I think a lot of bands do. So I don't know if we'll settle into a style. I think we would have to be sat in the same studio with the same instruments, using the same kind of synths, and just be like, right, we're going to record with these instruments and nothing else. And otherwise, it's going to always be like this, I think. Because we've got 3 ready to go, and they're even different to these. So
That's brilliant. I really like that. That you might never actually settle on a sound. That's really interesting.
It's maybe not a good commercial commercial idea, but I don't know. We've always kind of prided ourselves within that, but it does make it very difficult to market. And maybe if you can put a kind of image to that and cultivate something around that, then you can make something of it. But it's very difficult to retain that same audience and be interested in every single release if you don't have that same sound every time. People don't know what they're expecting. It takes a while for people to shift into that. And I think that's what, with our second release, it didn't do as well as the first, and definitely not as well as this one has done already. And that was kind of a bit more out there. So it takes people a while to get used to it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll just keep writing what we want to hear. And if people like it, then they like it.
The word authenticity kind of sprung to mind as soon as I started listening to it today. And I suppose you've just compounded that by what you've just been saying there, is that you're just making music that you really like, and that if that resonates with people, then so be it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got one question, actually. I'm quite interested to know how it is releasing music in lockdown. Has it forced you to be creative with certain things that you wouldn't normally have done, or anything like that?
The hugely difficult thing is you can't gig the release, and the way that the money works in music now, compared to 20 years ago, is you can't make the money off the streams unless you're incredibly business savvy, especially at our level. You can't make the money off the streams. You make the money off the gig. So you release a single or an album, and then you gig a few venues, and that can pay off your recording expenses, your PR, your marketing, your social media costs. And we don't have that. And we're definitely not at the level to be earning any money from streams, or even if we put a live stream on and charging people to come to it. We just don't have the fan base to do that. So you are releasing knowing that you're kind of losing money, which is fine. There's an argument to say that perhaps you have more of a captive audience because people are in lockdown, but I couldn't really. Sam's messaging me, telling me to say things, and he's very distracted.
Hi, Sam, if you're watching.
Yeah, he's in the comments here. I keep seeing him pop up.
Hey.
There's an argument to say that people are more captive, but I don't know. I think it's even more saturated online with all of these different live streams going. We were late to the live stream party. Sam said he just waved at the phone, thinking he was on the stream. But I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's easier. I don't know if it's definitely harder to make the money from it. People are maybe caring more about small businesses, small bands, and taking the time to do things like Save It. We ran a GoFundMe campaign, and this was to pay for our PR for this single. With the releasing the 2 singles that we did before, they don't do as well because they're not pushed to all these blogs. It takes a lot of time and takes a lot of effort, and and you need the connections to do that effectively. So you eventually get to the realization that you have to pay someone to do that, or or learn a long process. And that's what we've done. And Andy's been great so far with he's got us Radio 6 and various other radio stations.
Yeah, was it Lauren Laverne that got you?
Say again, sorry.
Was it Lauren Laverne that played you? Was it last night or the night before?
Lauren Laverne yesterday morning, yeah. So yeah,
Right,
it was our first radio play. And something like a PR campaign in this industry and this climate at the moment, with the saturation of the bands everywhere, I think a PR is kind of essential to just push you beyond those typical Spotify posts, Instagram posts that are kind of obviously bands starting out. You need that extra kind of push from an outside source to kind of solidify your name as a band. It's a terrible description about what's going on there, but we're still figuring it out as it's going on.
Legitimization a little bit sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have no idea if I answered your question there, but I kind of diverted.
No, I really enjoyed that. That's it's nice to get like an inside view on what's happening. Going back to the track, the single that you've released today, what's the kind of general feeling around it? Where were you when you recorded it? Where did you record it? I think I've seen some photos of you in Whitewood in Liverpool.
Yeah, so Danny in Whitewood Studios is our mix engineer.
Ace.
We would love to purely record there. Unfortunately, like I say, we can't afford to spend a week in the studio. We've applied for various different fundings to try and record 2 or 3 singles in the studio to have the same sound and 3 releases ready to go, so that we can release them and keep this kind of momentum going. But the way we do it at the moment is record at home, and in the past, when I've been at uni in Salford, we record it at Salford and then take it to Danny to get mixed. Sometimes there's like 2 or 3 different versions in different places, and then finally it takes shape through Danny's mix. I've just moved to France actually, so I have my studio out here. So it's going to be interesting how it works from now, but we like to have, it's nice to have the space here. It means that we can kind of treat this as a studio week when when Sam's finally allowed to come over. And with Young in particular, we had an engineer who was a year below me in uni called Ed Gallier, and we recorded with him. I'd already recorded it once in uni, didn't like it, got him to record it again, took it to Danny to mix it. We just spend, I don't know if we take too long and we're too much of a perfectionist to do it, like 2 or 3 days.
Am I still going? I feel like I'm back on. Are we back on? What a nightmare. Are we back on?
I'm back.
Sorry, I don't know if that was me or you or...
It was probably me. Rural France is not the best internet connection. I've just moved into the other room. Hopefully that's a bit better.
Yeah, so going back to what I was saying, I really enjoy the vocals on the track. I love how there's a real contrast to what's happening, high and low, call and response. Is that something to do with the nature of the song, or was it just like a tool that you were using while you were writing?
I think primarily the vocal production comes from a kind of insecurity about the coolness or the edginess of my voice. And the kind of quality of it. I'm not primarily a singer, so I'm surrounded by all these great singers, and I have to mask that behind some kind of like clever production. So we end up playing about writing the melodies on different instruments. So often melodic lines that are kind of more interesting, like this call and response thing that maybe you wouldn't have thought of if you were just sat there with guitar writing the lyrics. You wouldn't have written it like that call and response thing because it's a bit too wordy. You wouldn't have imagined it to have those 2 voices in the verse. Like that. So because
Chloe,
I'm back.
are we back? We back?
I'm next to the router. Yeah, we kind of hide behind this production. Well, I hide behind this production, but maybe that's what the style will become. We're more competent in the production than maybe the vocals itself. So that kind of creates the vocal timbre that we've got now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like you've painted yourself into a corner a little bit, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, one last question is this, you've kind of alluded to it before, but is this part of like an ongoing release, or is it an EP, or are you looking at maybe doing something more, or?
We have 3 great singles that, with the way that the music's kind of being listened to at the moment, albums just aren't going to work for a band our size, and especially with a band our budget. You need to focus people's attention, quick, short, and the attention span of people isn't great. You're not going to get people to listen to a whole album. So, and especially because we're not settled on our style yet, it would be a bit weird to make an album. It would be a bit disparate and kind of just like a combination of works put together. So 3 singles released one at a time. Hopefully we're going to have to kind of outsource some drumming at the moment. Now we can't get into the studios, so we're going to have to get some people to do some great quality recordings so that we can then send to Danny to get mixed all remotely. And hopefully this release can kind of fund some of that so we can keep the momentum going after this. Brilliant.
Well, I'll let you go, and it was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I must thank you again. Thanks for being our first and popping our proverbial Instagram live cherry.
Thank you very much.
I really do.
I'll make sure the internet connection's better next time.
Don't worry about it. I wish you both the best in the future. And yeah, we've had some great comments. Congratulations on the radio play. People asking you to do an EP, and that the song's great. So I really do hope that you get the recognition from this release, and things going forward just blossom for you, because really great project. So yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you again.
Thank you. Hope to speak again. Bye bye.
Right, so I can invite Mark back in to the live. I must say thanks so much if you're watching. Thanks for commenting. We're going to go through all of these, and we're going to try and get through and reply to you all. But yeah, hello. Thank you very much. Yo, how's it going?
Good. Yeah, that was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice guy, and really interesting to get like an inside view into how bands are trying to release themselves. Yes, Chloe, Joe is very, very lovely. I really do wish to meet him in person one day, and I will buy him a beverage. But yeah, him living in France does kind of mitigate that situation a little bit. But you never know. You never know.
And we go global one day, maybe, and we'll take the podcast on the road.
Yeah. So should we get into one of the albums that we've been listening to today that's been released?
Yeah. Which one do you want to start with?
Arlo Parks. Yeah, really, really great record. I've only had I'd say I'd listened to about 6 of the tracks off it. Sorry, it's really hard to read the comments and stuff. But yeah, Sam, I can buy you beers as well. No problem. Yeah, with the Arlo Parks record, I've listened to about 6 of the tracks. Really, really lovely tones and colours on the record, As I say, I've only had a little bit of a limited time with it, but got some real throwback vibes from it, kind of early 2000s.
Yeah, I thought she has that sort of conversational tone, like Lily Allen type thing, doesn't she?
Yes,
Yeah.
very, very good comparison. And it has that kind of like pop R&B thing that was happening then, you
Yeah,
know. Uh, just a really, I think it was called Big Dog was a track on the record, maybe.
yeah. I think
Absolutely.
Hope,
Say
yeah,
again?
Hope and Caroline were my two favourites.
Yeah, there's one a little bit later on, and I can't remember the name of it now off the top of my head, but it was a really, really lovely, lovely track.
Yeah,
Kind of really groovy, and again, just nice colours and textures, and um, just yeah, great. I think it's gonna be my new like in the background record.
yeah. I think like maybe that was one of the. If I'm nitpicking, that was one of the things that I maybe didn't like as much about it in terms of it can like drift in and out, like of your attention. Like
Yeah,
some songs are just really, as you say, background songs, and then others are really, really brilliant songs.
yeah. Um, I think it is just going to be a little bit of a like. Do you know what? Class Sunday morning record.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
quite
making
summery,
it
wasn't it,
fry
for this
up.
time of year?
Yeah, you're just in the house, pottering around, making a fry up maybe, and you just need something to fill that silence.
Yeah,
This is going to be a really, really great one of them albums. Really nice tone to her voice. If something
mm,
like as you said before about the conversational thing, it feels like she's singing it like directly to you.
yeah,
You know, I really enjoyed that.
yeah. No, absolutely. Um, and there was another one, Goat Girl. Have you listened to any Goat Girl
Haven't listened to that no,
so far?
because I was
Yeah,
listening to a little bit of Weezer's record, which I don't know how I feel about myself having
yeah.
done that. But yeah, how was Goat Girl?
It was good. Yeah. Uh, so that's their second album. It's quite raw, like punky sounding, and
Mhm.
but it can be quite like dreary in places. It's like it's yeah, the lead singer has gone through quite a lot, I think, like illness wise and stuff lately, and with the coronavirus, it's sort of like made her look at her own mortality and stuff. So, I think it does sort of show through in the songs, and it's quite you know, as I say, dreary at times, but there are some really good songs on there as well. I probably wouldn't listen to it again personally, but I do think it's a good album. Um,
Like a good body of work that like
yeah,
fits together, kind of thing.
yeah. Some of the highlights for me were PTST and Sad Cowboy. But yeah, it was definitely worth a listen.
Yeah, I'll give that
Yeah,
a listen this
yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, I was listening to a few of Weezer's tracks off their new album.
yeah,
Um,
I had to listen to
and the
them.
only like I think the three that I listened to were like primarily strings.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
It's quite
is
like
it just
orchestral, isn't it?
is it just an orchestral album? I didn't realize. I
Pretty
haven't
much,
read
yeah,
anything about it. Um, it's funny because it still just sounded like a Weezer record and didn't
yeah,
change for me. If you know what I mean, like
yeah,
it could have been on a guitar or bass or drums, but the fact that it was on cellos and that
yeah. I quite
didn't
enjoyed
really.
this. So yeah, there's some good songs there. It's quite a short album as well. It's like half an
Yeah,
hour or something. It sort of keeps the attention, I suppose, doesn't it? But yeah, it was a decent listen. Not groundbreaking. It's a bit.
just like a modern Weezer record is. You know,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't really do much, but
yeah,
yeah, okay, we can all
yeah,
put a full stop on that and move on. You know, sometimes I feel like don't release a record for 10 years and release one really good record, or like do what you're doing, which is like one every 2 years. That everyone's just a bit like
and
so.
well, there's meant to be one in a few more months as well. An 80s covers, an 80s cover album. So, um,
And do you know what? Like, do you know what the great thing about Weezer is? Is that they just don't take themselves seriously at all,
mm,
which a lot of bands could take from Weezer. Um, I just think, yeah, maybe don't do some stuff and do it better.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The real winner from today was Celeste for me. Celeste's debut album. Absolutely fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah.
you said this before, and like I was really impressed with the Arlo Parks record,
Mm.
and you said, "Just wait and listen
Yeah.
to this."
Yeah.
And wow,
Yeah.
wow, what a talented girl this girl is! Like, oh my god, the voice.
I know, unbelievable. It's like a sort of voice of a generation, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
she
totally
was
agree with that.
the top of all the tipsters ones to watch last year,
Right.
and it should have been like probably this massive breakout year for her. But obviously, everything happened. But she still had like you could see like the John Lewis Christmas advert. She was on that Soul film, Disney Plus, one of her tracks on there. So she still managed to make it a really good year, and she's got the Brit Award as well, the Breakthrough Artist one.
Right. Okay.
And I'd say, yeah, this is the album which has sort of come off the back of all that, and it is fantastic. The deluxe version is on Spotify, and it is a long one. It's 21 songs at an
Wow.
hour 20. So I don't actually. I'm guessing if you buy the physical record, you can tell where like the actual album ends. It's a bit more difficult with these like digital releases, isn't it?
Yeah, and like, do you know what? Maybe like people are just covering their tracks for it can be like synced to this and that and
Yeah.
this and that, and you know, like you can just be on anything now, can't it? You can, because it
Yeah.
doesn't cost any more to put another like 10 remixes on something or whatever. Just do it because it could get featured on a different playlist or a different an advert, or you know.
Yeah, well, she had that "Stop This Flame" is the football song this year, isn't it? They're on Sky Sports Super Sunday. That's
Right.
hers, and "Beloved" I thought was sorry, "Love Is Back." Really like sort of Amy Winehouse, Mark Ronson vibes.
Do you know,
Back to Black
when I
album.
first started listening, I'm glad that you've just said the A word there,
Yeah,
because as soon as I started listening to it, I had the A word in my head, and I don't
yeah,
like to bang that word round because of
yeah,
how high I hold Amy Winehouse in my esteem. You know, she is just maybe the perfect singer
yeah.
in my opinion. She's like, you know, was, but still, no one's gotten close to her for the past what 10 years, 15 years. You know, like no one's been anywhere near Amy Winehouse to be like for what she does
In the soul world, yeah,
in the soul world. Yeah,
yeah,
soul jazz. You know, all that
mm,
kind of like the real people's kind of music.
yeah,
And I was listening to that before, and I thought, this is close
yeah,
to it. Winehouse. This got the A word written quite close to it. And don't be wrong, I don't think it's quite there yet.
yeah,
But she's got like the. It reminded me of Frank,
yeah,
which laid all of the groundwork for Back to Black and everything. You know,
yeah.
so it just. I'm just so glad that you've just said that.
I was a bit like debating whether to say it because obviously she's like an amazing artist in her own right, and but
Yeah,
in this sort of world, it's hard not to like compare to people to like Amy Winehouse and even Adele, I suppose. And she's up there with both of them. Really, that voice is just incredible, massive range on it.
yeah. And just so, do you know the thing that kind of made me think of Amy Winehouse was like the emotion that is carried in her voice. It's not. There's information on every note. If that like kind of makes sense,
Yeah,
she could tell you something without saying the word,
yeah,
and that's what kind of made me gravitate towards saying this is a little bit like Frank, and it's laying the groundwork maybe for something later on that will get quite close to what Amy Winehouse did.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and when I say that, when it get close to what Amy Winehouse did, get close to what Amy Winehouse did for music. Like
Yeah,
she opened up a world of music for a lot of people, you know, and that Celeste I think could be. And as you say, you don't want to just lump them in with another name, do you? Because
yeah,
you say it, she's her own artist in her own right, and it's kind of like when a new footballer comes along and they go, "Oh, he's the next Gerard, he's the next Scholes, he's the next such and such. Well, maybe we just let him be his own kind of thing. This is the same thing. Maybe we should just kind of step back and not say them kind of things. But I think you want to validate Celeste's. You want to legitimize it a little. Like you want to say it's this good. It's this good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to get really into that record over the next week or so. I think, and I think maybe we should do a podcast episode on it.
Yeah, I was going to say this deserves a full episode. This really doesn't it? I think as well at any festival she's playing, when festivals come back, I'm going to try and get a ticket because I can just imagine it'd be perfect on a nice sunny day in a field with a beer to listen to that live.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Is there any special mentions that you want to go through?
Some more singles that I think we missed out with Great Emu War Casualties, which we mentioned on the last episode. You can check that out now if you.
Are we back?
Yeah, you're back now.
Yeah. Sorry.
Army S Man again, another really impressive track from them guys and girls, and chorus for days, nice summery feel as well because it's summer in Australia now, isn't it? So it's nice to get a bit of them summer vibes.
Yeah, the best part of this track is the bass line.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Yeah,
the bass line, it's just infectious, isn't it? It just carries so much energy with it, and like really, really stands out to you when you listen to it. I loved it. Really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Another win from Joe. And I have messaged him, and hopefully we're gonna try and work out the timings for him to come on the podcast and do like a little live like we did today.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and another one we might be getting on as well in the near future, Real Lies. Yeah, they've just released a new song called "Oh Me, Oh My" in brackets Nicotine Patch. It's got like sort of early 90s sort of New Order, Happy Mondays vibes.
Hacienda vibe, big Hacienda vibe. Yeah.
I have to give a big shout out to the video as well because
yes, it's right to Kieran.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, I really came round to it while I was listening to it, if that makes sense. Just got into it another background one for me.
Yeah.
I know for a lot of people it'll be like a party song really, but I could have that on in the background and just kind of potter away and it'd be a nice change,
Yeah, again, quite like a syncable song, I think. Like, could you imagine it on like a film or something?
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, really nice track. Clean Bandit released a new one as well.
I like this one.
Yeah, that's
listened to this in the car before.
It's quite tropical, isn't it? Another summery feel. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to have a bit. It felt like I was getting like actual vitamin D from the song.
Yeah. They just know how to write a brilliant pop song, don't they? Ian Dorr, I think. Ian Dorr Ian Dior is the person who sings on this track. But yeah, they have
this really cool thing that they do where they can like manipulate a voice, and I don't know if they like then play it on a keyboard, and it happens right at the end of the song. And it's like their trademark, isn't it? It's like their calling card, and it just sounds so good when it finally came in at the end, and you're like, oh, they are. Yeah.
I like that they're sort of like an under the radar local band as well from Birkenhead, essentially. Yeah, the two brothers are from Birkenhead, and so the girl is from Oxford or whatever, and they met in Oxford University all together. So that's where the band formed. But yeah, the two brothers, I'm guessing like the main songwriters in the band they're from Birkenhead. Yeah. Maybe
one day we'll have them on as an Instagram live, a local Instagram live.
Yeah.
You can come round to mine for a cup of tea or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Anything else?
There wasn't loads of music news. I was looking at the only sort of slightly interesting thing that piqued my interest was the weekend. Apparently, but he's doing his Super Bowl. I think it's next week, February the 7th, the halftime show. And apparently he's put $7 million, which is the equivalent like £5 million, into the performance himself. So that's like on top of the production costs, which are covered by the organisers. He's just thrown this massive fortune into essentially a 13-minute performance. It's just great. If you got the money to do it, why not?
It's and the thing is, it's possibly even more of a captive audience this year.
Yeah, because everyone's going to be watching on telly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good is that? I mean, it's going to be wild, isn't it? It is going to be wild. I mean, it's no like secret that he's a huge fan of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. This is his chance to kind of make a bit of a statement, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of surprise guests and stuff like as usual, but yeah, more so with him, I think. And weirdly, I thought it was quite early for it. Although, obviously, has been around for a while, but he's releasing a greatest hits and got the highlights in a couple of weeks, which is a little bit mad, but yeah. But that should be a good one. But yeah, anything else that you want to mention?
No, I just want to say thanks to Lord and the Woolfe again for coming on.
No, thanks very much.
That was really fun. I really enjoyed that chat with Joe, and Sam was in the comments, and just
a few fans really come on and watch there as well, didn't we? So
they've got some really great fans. It looks like, and I really do wish them all the best of luck, because if they can pick up a few more fans of that quality, they won't be going far wrong at all.
Yeah, and obviously, like during lockdown and everything, we are going to be doing interviews like this over Instagram, but hopefully one day we'll be able to interview people in person, and it'll be on like our YouTube channel and stuff. And but yeah,
in person, what's in person? I don't.
I know. I can't remember what that was like, but we want to connect with a load of people, don't we? And
definitely
find out the process behind the music.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hear all the nitty gritty details, everything.
Yeah, so we'll try and get another interview sorted for next week from someone. And as you say, we'll try and get Joe on.
Queen's Dock Barbershop.
Yeah,
might be our midweek live.
Nice. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
And we'll just be chatting about what kind of tracks Chris plays in the shop when he's cutting hair and he's making people look good. Not like that.
I've seen you like lining up a couple of other like music industry type people as well, aren't you? And the messages.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully we'll get a few of them on. I don't want to. I'm not going to divulge anything at the moment to the one who's watching. But,
create the suspense.
Yeah, no, it'll be. I think it'd be better just to do them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. But that was great. We've been gone about 45 minutes there. So
just a bit of admin because this is boring for everyone who's watching. But just remember to save it to the IGTV when you finish the live.
Is that an option?
Yeah, when you press finish or whatever, it'll say save to IGTV. Yeah.
IGTV.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So.
And then people can watch it back.
Thanks. Yeah. And just another one. Thanks to everyone that's watched, and like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff.
So we are hopefully getting another episode on next week. Fingers crossed as well. The Taylor Swift Evermore episode. So stay tuned for that one as well.
Class.
Yeah.
Ace, well, have a lovely weekend.
Yeah,
one and all.
It.
And we'll see you soon.
Yeah. See you soon.
Ta-da.
Later.